ahead to their plans, let's look back to an historic weekend, and I want to talk about Kamala Harris. She is the first female to take that office, vice president-elect, first female of color. I know I was talking to a number of women and young girls who are talking about, wow, this is the future, regardless of what your party colors are. This is the future. Yeah. And she has, as you mentioned, you talked to graduates of Westmount High in Montreal. There is a huge Canadian connection that not everyone knows about. They're starting to learn about. And I spoke with her best friend from high school. Wow. It's incredible. Her name is Wanda. Wanda, I know you're watching this morning,
Wanda.
so good morning to you, Wanda. And they share some really incredible memories of their relationship here. And she lived, they went to high school during the late 70s, early 80s, when political upheaval in Quebec at the time.
Referendum.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what you're going to see here, Dee, we know her as Kamala, right? And before everyone knew who she was, people were pronouncing her name different ways. So you're going to notice when I spoke with Wanda, right? She knows her as Kamala back in the day. So have a listen to this. And I want to say before we go to the story, there's a reason why people meet.
Serendipitous.
When we both found ourselves at a new high school, we're kind of magnetic to each other.
It was at Montreal's Westmount High where Wanda Kagan and Kamala Harris's friendship began. Kamala and her younger sister Maya were new to the city and to Canada, having moved from California for their mother's job as a highly respected researcher.
We were both from biracial families. We were going into a school with a lot of diversity, many cultures, a lot of social, economical differences. And so we had to find a way to make ourselves fit in. I mean, we immediately attracted to each other, and then we kind of found our way.
Wanda and Kamala were similar, outgoing and loved to have fun. But when other teens spent later nights partying, their evenings were cut short with a focus on their studies. It didn't stop them from finding other outlets to express themselves, like starting a dance troupe together, even going against tradition for prom.
Kamala and I, we went together. We decided to change the culture on going with a date, because we were just finding there was a lot of girls that didn't have anyone asking them. They didn't know what they were going to do. It wasn't even accepted really back then to just go to graduation or prom by yourself. And so that's one of my best memories.
But not every memory was a good one. This past September, Kamala tweeted this video with the caption, "One of the reasons I wanted to be a prosecutor was to protect people like her." Her being her best friend, Wanda.
I remember asking her, is everything okay? I just sensed it. And she shared with me that her father was molesting her. And so I said to her, as soon as she told me, well, you have to come stay with us.
To be able to have the support of Kamala, her sister, her mom, what did that mean for you?
That meant a lot too, because I remember Kamala's mom always was like so cool, but I didn't think that she would have been quite as open to coming to the rescue for me like she did. I just remember thinking, this woman's amazing.
Stability, love, encouragement, all things Wanda says Kamala and her family provided, steering her on a positive path that would change her life. Their connection so deep that years later, Wanda would name her daughter Maya after Kamala's sister. But like many high school friendships, the two lost touch. Kamala moving back to the U.S. for school. Several years had passed.
I had been trying different ways to catch up with her over the years. And then one of my friends called and said, "You'll never guess who's on Oprah." And I was like, really?
District Attorney Harris believes it is her duty to mentor young women who dream of following in her footsteps.
I put in a phone call. I was already in bed. My daughter's like, telephone. I'm like, I'm in bed, I'm not getting up. And she goes, "But it's your friend from Oprah."
Since then, Wanda and Kamala have remained in each other's lives. Wanda ecstatic for her friend, making history as the first female and first woman of color to become vice president of the United States of America. Her mom played a big role in her life and in your life. What do you think her mom would say?
This is just amazing for her mother. She'd probably say something like, "I always knew you could do it, Kamala. You could do whatever you put your mind to." I feel like, okay, she changed my life, and so now she's going to help hopefully change the United States of America for the better.
What a beautiful relationship, and it breaks your heart to think of anybody enduring any sort of abuse, and that not only was she a good friend, Kamala a good friend to her, but it was also literally providing a safe haven to change the trajectory of Wanda's life.
Absolutely. And Wanda said that, you know, had she not had that intervention, maybe she wouldn't have gone down that route of going to university. She's now in the healthcare industry. She's philanthropic. Thriving from what she saw from Kamala, her mom, her sister Maya, and again, naming her daughter Maya, who she watched election night with. She said it was just her and Maya watching together. And I should say, we've been emailing back and forth even this morning. And as soon as the win happened on Saturday, this is directly from the email, Wanda, you said, "I'm so excited, it's insane." And you know what? It's incredible to see how lives come together and change the paths of one another, right? You know, her to go to be a prosecutor, district attorney, and then for Wanda to feel like she was saved.
She was saved. And then to find each other again and still have that friendship so many years later, because you pick right back up where you left off, right?
It's incredible. So thank you, Wanda, for sharing your story with us. We appreciate it.